Salute, salute. What's good, everybody? It is Tony the Savant back again. Hope everybody's having a good to great day, man. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on when you pull up to the video. All right, man, we back to work. Know we gotta, we gotta address this dude every so often, man. And unfortunately for you, LeBron James fans, I know I can be annoying. It's not really no pressure for me. You know what I mean? To make these videos, I'm not moved by y'all criticism. I'm not moved by y'all saying I'm a quote unquote LeBron James hater because I've been on record dozens of times stating that at one point I had a high regard for this dude, have high respect. LeBron James used to move like a real dude. Uh, Unfortunately, though, somewhere along the way in his life, he decided to turn into this prima donna, and so I went from a LeBron James supporter to a LeBron James critic, and there's nobody to blame but LeBron James. And this podcast is it has turned into exactly what all of the LeBron James quote unquote haters have said it was going to become. And what do I mean by that? Well, in the beginning, LeBron James reeled us in because himself and JJ Redick both stated that they wanted to get back to a sports show that wasn't narrative based, that wasn't comparing generations all the time, and focus more on the X's and O's of basketball. And in the beginning, the first two episodes, I enjoyed them. I've been on record saying that me personally, as a person that played basketball, I understand the terminology that they're using. I enjoyed, the presentation of the show. The production was a little lazy, but the information was there. And by episode three, y'all, it has turned into the LeBron James show. Now, when this all first was announced, LeBron James and JJ Redick initially announced this podcast. I said, "All right, I'm cool with this as a LeBron James critic because I was assuming that this wasn't turned into his barbershop show that he got. On the barbershop show, if y'all watched it, if you haven't, you know what I mean, I'll fill you in real quick. It is a LeBron James glaze fest. Okay, everybody that he has on that show as a guest just comes up there and just talks about, uh, how and why they revere LeBron James. And that wouldn't be such an issue if we already didn't have ESPN doing that. That wouldn't be such an issue if majority of the dudes on Fox Sports One didn't do it already. So it just becomes more of a, all right, LeBron, this became just another glaze fest because y'all got us with the hook and reel. The savants of basketball was looking forward to a show that actually went into the X's and O's of basketball. Again, I understand the terminology, so I enjoyed it. Um, it didn't really matter that LeBron James was the presenter of this information. I just like the substance of the show. But again, LeBron James has turned it into a glaze fest, and we are not even a total of three episodes in, y'all. As episode three, LeBron James, I just watched it. He goes on to try to rewrite history again. LeBron has tried this a few times unsuccessfully because of course there's going to be people that push back on his crap. Shout out to Stephen A. Smith as he has come out and addressed this issue head on his podcast. And I don't always agree with Stephen A. But again, my take with Stephen A. is that I either 100% agree with him or I 1,000% disagree with him. You know what I mean? It's never in the middle with Stephen A. So he was completely right on this one as far as addressing LeBron and saying that, hey, bro, you can go back and say because on the podcast, let me reel it back in. On his podcast, he states that he had back in Miami. Um, Infamously, they did have himself, Dwayne Wade, and Chris Bosh, but this man fixed his mouth to say that wasn't enough. Essentially, not you know how LeBron is. He goes through the roundabouts, the carousel of language. He goes through the roundabout of saying, oh, we have, guys, a bunch of minimum guys there because of course him, Dwayne Wade, and Chris Bosh had to be compensated. But they had a bunch of minimum vet guys. And on paper, I took a screenshot of this. I didn't upload it, but on paper, you looking at these names. We talking about Carlos Arroyo. We talking about Jawan Howard. We talking about Big Z. I can't say his name. Ilzauskas. um, a host of others. Mike Bibby. And these are guys that have had deep playoff runs. I don't see any NBA champions on here per se, but deep playoff runs for sure. Mike Bibby was in some classic throwdowns with the Kobe and Shaq Lakers, so he's tested. He's battle tested. The problem was, and LeBron James refused to get anywhere near this topic, was the fourth quarters of the 2011 series. That's right, y'all. Everybody but LeBron James did their job. Because I always thought that when you are the superstar, quote unquote, and you are the face of the NBA, and you're the alleged GOAT, or at least the challenger, the contender for the title, alleged GOAT. You can't have a game three, or was it game four? I can't recall. I think it was game four. I think it was game three, where he had 0 points in the fourth quarter. 0 for 1. Only took one shot. Two turnovers. -7 from the plus minus. Uh, you can't be in contention for a GOAT and be having that kind of stat line. Respectfully. Respectfully. Well, when you go on here 10 years, some 10 years later and try to rewrite history, man, it's just even more disgusting because LeBron, dude, we was all there. You're not talking to. I think LeBron James literally is one of those people that thinks he's the smartest man in every room. He always thinks he's talking to people that's foolish or not as intelligent as him. And respectfully, his fan base are those people because he could go up here on this podcast and say all of this jibber jabber, and his fan base will act like he didn't say the complete opposite thing just all but a year ago. He always constantly contradicts himself. He always constantly, uh, uh, puts his foot in his mouth, and then it's just almost guaranteed he's going to say something foolish to try to control the narrative. You know what I mean? Now he's sitting here trying to tell us that his meltdowns occurred because the Miami Heat at that time didn't have enough ancillary players. Come on, man. Come on, man. You put that Miami Heat lineup against anybody else in the league at that time. You could put that Miami Heat lineup against some of the past NBA champion teams. The 2011 Miami Heat, the unsuccessful Miami Heat, one of the greatest, probably the greatest team to not win the NBA championship. All things considered, all the hype induced by the alleged GOAT himself. So yes, the greatest team to never win a championship is the 2011 Miami Heat. There are a lot of other contenders, but no other team was assembled for other. I'm gonna say it like this: that team was purely assembled for not one, not two, not three, not four, not you know what I mean. That this is the clown. That it wasn't assembled for just one championship run or two championship runs. That was supposed to be a dynasty easily. And LeBron James wants us to believe that that team wasn't able to fulfill its destiny on assemble, as soon as they was assembled because of the alleged role players. Get out of town, bro. Stop it, bro. And I'll say it again. LeBron. Rest in peace to all the good people, that we lost probably in that time frame since from now to then. But my dude, most of us was here. We all seen the meltdown in real time. Uh, You could probably run the YouTube. You know what I mean? You're trying to come to YouTube to control the YouTube narrative, but bro, it's too late for that. There's too many videos out here breaking you down to the molecule. There's too many videos out here breaking down the 2011, just that one NBA Finals alone. There's nothing you can say or do to change the narrative on that note. But even his fans, I give them their credit, calling them out on this particular topic. Just much like they did when he fixed his mouth and said that he would have been successful or his legacy was intact regardless of excuse me, regardless if he would have went to Miami or not. The Bronsexuals actually gave LeBron some pushback on that. They gave him a little pushback when he said something like he don't like getting praise. You know what I mean? But there's another issue I'm starting to see a lot of Bronsexuals push back on him because we all know it's cat, bro. It's such a it's like this show went from basketball terminology to narcissistic conversation only in one episode. And this dude's, just when I know something else I noticed when he's talking about losing, it's always we. You know what I mean? Me and the team, this, that, and the third. And then when he's talking about winning, it's I. I did this, I had to do that. And then you Bronsexuals went on for years and years and years talking about he didn't have a great coach per se. And then him himself in this interview again makes the Bronsexuals look foolish. This is the crazy part. LeBron James makes his fan base look more foolish than he does his critics and haters. You know what I'm saying? You can never go run back something LeBron said and then run back something of one of my videos addressing that thing that LeBron said, and then you be like, "Yo, Tone, you look crazy for it." No, because every time I'm right on the nail with this dude. You know what I mean? Narcissistic, um, just egotistical, always trying to control the narrative, man. And then it's like, bro, we get it. You know what I mean? We get it. Your whole shtick is catching Jordan and surpassing Jordan. We get it, bro. But it didn't happen. It's fine, except the fact that you had a great career and that you was able to accomplish all that your dreams desired. You know what I mean? It's only so many human beings on this earth that will experience a professional basketball career, let alone, the creme de la creme of the NBA. Uh, I think LeBron James has been so busy chasing Michael Jordan, and he never really had a chance to sit back and truly enjoy what he's been able to do. And it's deadly obvious. It's deadly obvious because all the time he's trying to control the narrative. He's trying to tell us what we should be thinking or how we should look back on the situation. And unfortunately, like I said, we're in the age of the internet. LeBron James, it was a blessing and a curse for this dude to be the first athlete in the social media era. You know what I mean? Like, I understand the kind of pressure that came with, but your whole career, buddy, is all over the internet. All of the meltdowns, all of the shortcomings, all of the tantrums, all of the flopping is documented in a database, and there's nothing LeBron James could do to change it. Unfortunately, he came up in the age of the internet, bro. Everything you did is on documentation. You know what I'm saying? So, unfortunately, the first superstar to ever be first basketball superstar to come up in the social media era, it worked in his favor to some degree because there are literally some idiots that just run around repeating what they see on Twitter or Facebook, get a notification. LeBron James did this, and then these dudes make an entire video, not watching the game, not even watching highlights, just running with that headline that they got. You know what I'm saying? So, all in all, yeah, man, I just watched episode 3, and I no longer enjoy this show because it's turned right into, like I said, the empty barbershop crap show where everybody comes up there and sings LeBron James praises. And I'm just not interested in more of that. If I want to see the LeBron James show, I would go to the LeBron James Network, which is ESPN. So yeah, I'm good on that. He said something else, but anyway, I mean, it's just more of the same. I guess I'm through with this one because I'm actually gonna I'm through with this podcast. If it's gonna continue on like this, if LeBron James finds a way to get back to the basketball terminology, you know what I'm saying? Somebody in the LOM sports to let me know. But I was getting clips about this particular subject, and I was just like, man, this dude, this dude just turned it right into a one-on-one talk show. Just sitting up there getting drunk, telling us how we should reflect on his career. And it's like, nah, bro. It's just, I don't know. I'm annoyed with LeBron James. I try to chill out, on addressing his tomfoolery, but it just gets so overwhelming. You know what I mean? It's just like, bro, I don't want the next generation of athletes to look up to this dude. Dead ass. I'm gonna be honest. That may sound like some hate. I don't want the next generation, the Ja Morants, the Lucas. We don't need another 20 years of a pseudo LeBron James. This passive aggressive, obsessive, with everything narrative really doesn't put in any real work. I don't see it anyway. And a LeBron James would just make you miss Kobe, bro. It's like this nigga don't make me do nothing but miss Kobe because the mentality, the approach, the intensity of the game no longer exists. It's like when Kobe passed away, that part of basketball passed away with him too. And if you need any other example of what I'm saying, look at the NBA All Star game, bro. It is unbearable. I don't think anybody on any level, casual, savants, uh, people that don't watch the NBA, I don't think anybody could watch the NBA All Star game and call themselves entertained or like, oh yeah, I like that. At this point, nothing about what we loved about the NBA, me personally anyway, what I loved about the NBA, none of that exists in the NBA any longer. You know what I mean? And we getting glimpses of it with the Anthony Edwards, and then sometimes I see Wemby. I'm out there, getting a little gritty. Luca gets a little gritty. I'm in fact excited for LeBron James to retire, so we can really see what these young boys are about. Because I think the NBA the marketing team for the NBA should be pink slip, bro. We don't know nothing about Wembanyama. We don't know nothing about Shea Alexander, excuse me. All these young budding stars in the NBA, ESPN, Fox Sports One starts off every segment about a 10 seed Lakers team struggling with the alleged GOAT to get into a play-in tournament, bro. There was no such thing as a play-in tournament just 4 or 5 years ago. So essentially, we're giving all this NBA press to a team that if this was the Michael Jordan era, because everybody say LeBron could play in Michael Jordan. If this was the Jordan era, LeBron James would not be eligible for postseason play. Let's keep it a stack, bro. We having this participation tournament, so this old man can somehow, some way, squeeze his name into the playoffs one more time, and then he's going to go up against a world class team again, if not the Minnesota Timberwolves, if they get it together. If he runs up against a healthy Denver Nuggets, they're going to get blasted again. You put your money on it. They're going to get blasted again. Because the LeBron James system, it's only successful against the bad teams. It's not successful in the playoffs. And we've seen it so many times. You don't take 6 L's if your offensive schemes is successful. The triangle offense was successful. They never lost in the finals. This dude, whatever he got going on, and they play books, and these coaches asking him for his advice, it's sort of too much. But anyway, yeah, man. Like I said, I just wanted to chime in because it's essentially going to be the last time I cover this garbage podcast. LeBron James suckered us in with the old. This is going to be a basketball show and get back to the nitty gritty and the substance. I believed it. I believed it. Me, a LeBron James critic, believe something LeBron James said. I should have known better, bro. Because now The show has just become. Well, I noticed what he came to the YouTube down to the YouTube streets for in the first place. LeBron James came to the YouTube streets, y'all, in the heat of the PED allegations. Let's keep it a buck. So he had the he felt. I guess he felt the heat at Clutch Sports offices. Cause I ain't never seen LeBron James do a podcast. I mean, I guess the barbershop was something like this, but this nigga's on YouTube. You know what I'm saying? You amongst the wolves, man. So you got to realize one, the dude came around of nowhere with a podcast, um, and it came out of nowhere with a podcast, and two came out of nowhere with a podcast in the middle of. I don't think the PED allegations have ever been more talked about in his 21 career. We've been hearing little spurts here and there, the biogenesis lab, yeah, all that stuff. Everybody knows about that stuff. And then about the recent investigation of the whole damn Clutch Sports team. You know what I'm saying? Um, but nothing like what we've seen this last year, last 2 years with Kale Sonnen, you know what I'm saying? Literally saying LeBron James is on something without no out allegedly. Okay, here's the thing about it. I listen to a lot of a lot of hip hop podcasts and and sports podcasts. A lot of times you will hear guys say stuff to be funny, like the P Diddy situation, for instance. A lot of people making jokes about P Diddy, but we still got to say allegedly, because although there's a lot of stuff, a lot of symptoms, P Diddy ain't been charged or locked up for nothing. So everything's still allegedly when it comes to P Diddy. Kale Sonnen ain't say no allegedly. Victor Conte ain't say allegedly. And these are two dudes in the PED industry. If you in the fitness game and all that, you know these names. Kale Sonnen has been busted for PEDs. You know what I'm saying? Dude's a UFC fighter. Victor Conte has served times for PEDs. This man has no reason to come up here and lie, especially on somebody, a mega superstar like LeBron James. The man is associated with Marion Jones, an Olympic star. You know what I mean? She got torn down because she was taking PEDs. Victor Conte went down with her. I think he was the one that snitched on her. So this same dude is running around the internet saying LeBron James is guilty. All right, nobody said allegedly, y'all. That's what I'm saying. In the court of law, they can be sued if they don't say allegedly. These dudes ain't saying allegedly, and they are saying it on mega platforms like ESPN and Jason Whitlock's podcast. You know what I'm saying? So it's spooky. It's definitely spooky. And considering how ESPN, they love chasing these big stories, and they'll put out some cap real fast. We know how ESPN get down. They'll put out a breaking headline. It would be no developing story. It just dude hit his girlfriend. Like what happened? You know what I'm saying? And we get the whole story. The girlfriend like, nah, we had an argument, and the bartender called the cops. ESPN don't ever run it back and apologize, redact their statements. If they do, very rarely. But my point being is that they chase these big headlines. You got two guys, big names in the PED industry, accusing the biggest star on, what I'm saying, in the NBA right now of cheating the game, and nobody got nothing to say about it. You know what I mean? Nobody except the YouTube streets. Let me bring that back. The YouTube streets was hot, and all of a sudden, this is where LeBron James wanted to bring his podcast. Come on, fam, stop. You could have went to Apple. You LeBron James. You could have went to Spotify with Joe Rogan. Come on, bro. You could have went with DraftKings, and did the Pat McAfee thing. LeBron James could have had his podcast on ESPN. Why are you coming to YouTube, where what we talking? Mighty convenient, bro. And I'm sorry, my investigative hat is on, but nonetheless, like I said, I tried to give this podcast a chance. It turned into the LeBron James barbershop all over again, so I'm good on that much, bro. But I'm gonna give me some grub, get back to work. Um, Y'all have a good night, man. I'm gonna probably pop back up live with some college stuff I want to talk about. Haley Van Lith, re-entering the transfer portal. So I'm been investigating on what that situation is looking like. Might pop back out live and get back into that. We got the Final Four stuff coming up as well this weekend. So let me get back in the office, man. I just want to address this clown because I was listening to the podcast in the background, and I say, oh no, this nigga here, LeBron James at it again, man. You know what I mean? I'm listening to the basketball terminology in the background, thinking that's what I'm about to get because I watched the first two episodes again. I enjoy it so much that basketball, that dense, terminology and the running the plays and the actions. I enjoy that so much. I ran the episodes back again. This nigga got another view off of me. So here's the thing. Episode 3, I'm listening to it. I'm ready for some more basketball talk. And it's the LeBron James narrative changing show. Now he's going to explain to us what really happened in 2011. It wasn't that he had a meltdown, y'all. No. It's that the role players wasn't good enough. Mighty convenient. But it's your boy Tony the Savant.